Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, the only weekly show on YouTube you can ask questions from a medical doctor who is also a champion bodybuilder. The show is brought to you by his book, The Bible of Bodybuilding 2. This is available on Amazon with over 700 pages, everything you need to know about training, nutrition, supplementation, and PEDs, written by this man right here. Please welcome from Athens, Greece, Dr. George and Touliatos. Hey George, how are you?
Hi Ron. Let's speak about the Cali Pro. It was yesterday, and Wigan Rhymes got the publication. I think it was much easier than the Pittsburgh Pro or the New York Pro.
Yeah.
Or perhaps also FIBO, and I assume that Krizo or Oliva Jr. could also win this particular show. Of course, Rigo Rhyme grabbed the opportunity, and he is again on the Olympia stage.
Let's take a look.
Excuse me?
I'm going to bring up some pictures while you talk.
Yeah.
So there's Regan right there. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Sergio would have had a good chance. Krizo, I think Krizo would have won this.
Well, we don't know for sure, but I mean, both Sergio and Krizo have also some other chances until October to grab the first place.
Yeah. I heard Krizo's done. Krizo's not going to compete anymore this year.
Why?
I heard Krizo is not going to even try to make the Olympia.
Why?
I guess he feels he needs to make improvements. He doesn't. If he
Are
could,
you kidding me?
I guess.
Oh, he's improved already. What kind of improvements? In size?
I don't know. I mean, I think his sponsors have a lot to do with which shows he does, and I'm sure they had something to do with telling him the Olympia this year. No, let's try again next year. I mean. He could have
looked awesome. Come on, what are you talking about?
I agree. I think this was the best, by far his best. But I think he would have beat Regan. He would have beat Sasson. He beat.
I believe so. Yeah.
He beat them in Pittsburgh, didn't he?
Yeah.
No,
3D.
New York.
Popping out, and really good mass. Come on, what are they talking about? He has the best delts and arms and this thigh sweep. Yeah, Regan done improvements in size because he did off season, and he skipped I think Olympia once 2 years ago in order to gain some mass because Jay Cutler told him that, and I saw a picture with Jay and Milos.
Oh yeah, they were all on the podcast all together, I believe. Yeah. Jay's podcast. Yeah. So what did you think? Because Sasson was in better condition, he had a much better tan, and the guy.
I believe Regan is better on top. On the top of the body, on the upper body.
Yeah.
He needs a little bit of volume in his thighs, but his conditioning is good. Where legs look better to his other opponent.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I just feel bad for Sasson because he took second place at Detroit to William Bonac. He took second place at FIBO to Andrew Jacked, and now he took another second place.
I was speaking about Pittsburgh. The question is not if Nick Walker deserves to win Lansford, but if he can beat Samson and Hattie. So that's also what Bob Chick said, that okay, you beat Lansford, but I mean, you almost won the show. But the point is to beat Hattie, which is he's unbeatable in terms of conditioning, and Samson that he's all much bigger, and we shall see.
Yeah, I mean,
all four are very tight. So Samson, Hattie, Dirk, and Nick are very close.
I think that's your top four right there.
Yeah, but none can create a legacy like the superstars of Ronnie, Jay, Phil. Okay, there's no such a superstar anymore.
No, I mean, I still think. Tell me if you agree or not. I still Phil at his best would beat all these guys right now. Ronnie at his best would beat all these guys right now. Both of them would, I think.
Yeah.
So it's just a different era. We're not putting these guys down. But yeah, Regan, congratulations.
A different era with, let's say, more advanced drugs or better equipment or supplementation. But back then, I think it was the original compounds, the pharmaceutical grade ones.
Yeah, I mean, the guys back then kept it very basic. I mean, I don't think they used anywhere near the amounts or the combinations. These guys are all using like peptides and thyroid meds and asthma meds and all kinds of stuff.
They're relying very much on peptides for muscle growth.
Yeah, yeah, which didn't even nobody was using peptides back in the Lonnie days.
I mean, apart from Rami, it doesn't seem to create the mega monster of mass, you know,
Yeah.
or I mean, okay, how is a frequent conditioning?
Well,
But
I mean,
still, we would see the mass that that Hadi carries to other people in Ronnie's or Jay's era, for instance, like Ronnie.
yeah, different eras. I mean, we have a great group of guys right now, but I don't see anybody that's like dominant. Where like Samson's good, but do I think he's going to win the Olympia like 6, 8, 7, 8 times in a row? I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody ever will again, honestly, while we're alive. So you're freezing on me right there for a second. I'm going to get to the first question now from our readers. Very important because this is the most widely used recreational drug on planet Earth. I have read that marijuana is bad for bodybuilders because it raises estrogen. Would that matter if someone was using AAS? Would cannabis still hurt
I think
them?
it raises prolactin. That's a problem. That's why it also creates a problem an issue to the HPDA and to the erection of the testosterone synthesis, not necessarily estrogen. And also, it spikes hunger. That's why people that do weed afterwards, they want to eat something like a dessert, you know.
Junk.
Now, would cannabis still hurt gains? I don't think so because Arnold, I mean, he was in gear, of course, but it makes you sleep better. And with sleep, you can, of course, recover much better. But natural people, yeah, I think it can hinder the gains.
Okay. Yeah, because I know some people. I've even heard that if you're trying to get your wife or girlfriend pregnant, your chances of having a boy are much, much less if you're a regular marijuana user. I don't know if that's true or if it's like some myth, but that's a
I
whole
never
other.
smoked weed, but I had 2 chances of having a daughter. You know,
Yeah, true. All right.
I think it's just by luck.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, there's your answer. Here's a question about Brad Pitt and his hair. Doctor, how does the actor Brad Pitt have such amazing hair? Because he's 60 years old, I believe. How can we make our hair like his, like it was when I was 20? Good luck.
I think it's genetics because I don't take anything like anti-androgen, Fina or Duta, or even minoxidil or ketoconazole, and I still have hair. Because both my dad and my grandfathers from both sides, they were not bald. So mine also, but Brad Pitt perhaps never, but with the exception of Troy, he used a little bit of gear, but he never touched any steroid. That may cause some hurting, you know.
Yeah. I see guys at my gym who are 60, 70 years old, full head of thick hair. And I'm like, geez, I had to go to Turkey to get my hair back because I was losing my hair by the time I was in my late 40s. It started getting pretty bad.
Different now that your hair grow, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
different version. But I had to go to Istanbul. All right. Another hair question. Is saw palmetto good for hair loss? Will it help regrow hair if we have lost some?
I don't think so. Come on. I mean, it's not even that effective for prostate. You can take it perhaps to urinate better. But if you want something if you want to expect something drastic, you need to cut DHT by dutasteride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the minoxidil foam works pretty well too.
I mean, ketoconazole with just local, but if you want to kill DHT, take dutasteride along with testosterone, not alone itself, because you're gonna get castrated and severely depressed without testosterone.
Well, I don't like the sound of that. Here's an odd question. I read that PDE5 inhibitor drugs. First of all, what are those drugs for? PDE5 inhibitor drugs.
Cialis or Viagra.
Okay, so erectile dysfunction drugs. They can, in rare cases, cause a heart attack. Is this true, or is it due to the strain of sexual activity? Because I also read those drugs help the heart.
Yes, they do help the heart because initially, sildenafil was manufactured to treat, was supposed to treat pulmonary hypertension because it vasodilates the pulmonary arteries and lowers the blood pressure. And also, we expect a severe headache when we take 100 milligrams of Viagra because the headache comes from vasodilation that increases the blood flow, but also gives tension to the arteries, and then we have this pain in the head, and we have this headache. So I don't know how it can cause a heart attack by relaxing blood vessels. Now it could be a fact because if you do sex, let's say for half an hour, and you sweat, it's like a cardio. But if you have a plaque or something, then it could give you a heart attack in this way.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard anecdotal stories about guys having heart attacks and dying during sex, and a lot of the joke is like, that's how I'd like. What a way to go.
Cocaine, if you use cocaine, again, you have the opposite effect, vasoconstriction, but also speeding the heart rate.
I think there's a lot of people out there probably do combine Viagra or Cialis with cocaine. So bad idea, guys, if you're trying to avoid a heart attack.
And actually, if you have cocaine, it's like it vasoconstricts the penis. So usually they put cocaine on women's genitalia.
Oh yeah,
it works differently.
Oh boy. So cocaine would constrict your blood vessels.
Yeah, it's the opposite of Viagra. Yes.
And then the Viagra would open them up again.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, that's probably why people on coke use Viagra. All right, our final question. I'm on TRT, 160 milligrams a week, and after I tried DIM, I don't need anything. My nipples feel normal again. So I guess he didn't say, but he must have some sensitivity to his nipples. Do I need to cycle DIM 200 milligrams a day, or can I stick to that dose for life?
That's a good one because DIM kills the E1, which is the estrone, the bad estrogen. It's anti-estrogenic coming from broccoli. I'm using DIM all year round now for a couple of years because it prevents from prostate cancer by killing the bad estrogen that proliferates the cancerous cells of the prostate. And Ron McLean was the first to say that. But if you combine DIM with high dose of zinc of 50 milligrams, it's also a good way to lower the estrogens. But personally, for that, I'm using tamoxifen 20 milligrams, and in a couple of days, the pain's gone. Okay. So I don't touch the Arimidex. I don't want to kill my estradiol, but I want to occupy the receptor of the estrogens with a serum so that no more floating estrogens can sit over there and create the problem. Okay, and as a matter of fact, 2 days ago, I had an itchiness in my nipples, and I had a Novodex, and the day after, the pain was gone.
Wow.
And also, my diet was not to the roof, so the problem is not E2, but it's the receptor of the estrogen that you need to block, and it's much healthier taking a little bit of Novodex rather than killing the estrogen. We need estrogens.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder because I stopped taking an Anastrozole just because I felt it was leading to muscle tears. I was going to tear every damn muscle off my body.
Muscle, bone, mood, sex drive, HDL. It has side effects, and we need this dial. Come on, that's why testosterone is so fundamental because we have E2 and DHT, both of them. We need that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would take provider, for instance, for TRT. But no, we need testosterone. We need estradiol, and we need DHT for several reasons.
Yeah, cool. Is it okay to show some pictures from your daughter's baptism or no?
Sure.
Okay, so this happened yesterday as we're speaking. Let me show it. Oh, I got two lines up. Hang on one second. Go to Facebook and
Her name is Nikki.
Nikki. Yes, she's already got a nickname. It was Nicole. But now she's got a cool nickname already. So this was yesterday in Athens. Yeah, there she is. There's Doc in a suit. I see the resemblance.
She's mine.
Definitely your kid. Like my kids, there's no doubt. Those are my kids. There she is saying, look at my dad. A Per Bernal picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's you and Nancy. And yeah, good times. Church. Everyone looks happy. Baby Nikki. Good stuff. Yeah, congratulations. That's a big milestone. Beautiful family. Beautiful daughter. Great stuff. Yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, I like to see this stuff. Family is so important, man. The older I get, the more I realize family is like the only thing that really matters in your life.
Yeah, that's the destination.
Yeah. So
Because career, is something that it's gone, but what you leave behind is your DNA and your own blood,
yeah.
Because we are also uh, the result of our ancestors.
Yeah, it's true. But I don't know how it is in Greece, but right now the United States has the lowest birth rate and the lowest marriage rate it's ever had in our history.
Greece also has a problem because it gets older, and the older population remains more, in a matter of percentage. With COVID, we lost about 35,000 Greeks. Most of them, of course, were elderly.
Yeah.
But I remember that the gynecologist that gave birth to Nikki said that we have around 70,000 births in Greece, while it used to be double of this 50 years ago. And of course, finance is a problem. The other is the low testosterone, the low fertility in men that I face with so many young men. The other is that women want to create a career and they go for money and they think about becoming a mother at 35 plus, which is a problem.
40.
Yeah, 40. Of course, you can do that, but I think Mother Nature is smarter, and I think that healthy offsprings come from healthy men, from younger parents, of course.
18 to 25 are the prime years for a woman
But
to.
you don't have the money back then now at
Yeah,
25. Perhaps you don't have the experience, or you want to fool around.
Yeah.
So you can't have it all.
Yeah.
You can't have it all.
Yeah. I mean, the last thing I want to say is people say, well, that's great. We don't need many people on Earth anyway. We're overpopulated. But the thing is we need to have a lot of young people working to help support all the old people that are retired.
Because we don't have money to pay all that pension.
Exactly. So if you don't have people to support the retired people, I don't even know what's going to happen. I hope I don't find out the hard way. Anyway, that has been our show. Congratulations again on your daughter's baptism, Doctor. And guys, if you have questions for next week, comments, anything, please leave them below in the comments. Love to hear your feedback and get some really good questions for the next show. Go to Amazon.com and support the show and the doctor by getting your copy of the Bible of Bodybuilding 2. And that's it. Thanks for watching Ask Dr. Testosterone with Dr. George and Touliatos. We'll see you next time.